I wanted to say a few words about fascia and how it relates to movement in the body. Fascia is a type of connective tissue that wraps itself around every cell, every muscle, and every bone in the body. Not only that, but it also is a matrix that works itself through those muscles and through other tissues of the body. So it's not layered like a cake, but rather it's more of a matrix of a spider web where there are multiple layers that are intersecting and intertwining with each other. Fascia is very helpful. We need it to exist in the world because it gives us shape and form and helps our body to be organized and work efficiently. It also can be a limitation at times. So if you've ever had an accident, an injury, or surgery, scar tissue is fascia that has recreated itself to help the body to stay alive, to hold its shape. One way we might think of this tissue is just by looking at a simple citrus fruit. I've deconstructed this little clementine for our purposes, but for any of you who have ever eaten a citrus fruit before, you'll know that when you peel the skin away from the fruit itself, it's not separate, but the skin is affixed. So that in and of itself is the fascia of the fruit holding itself together. Not only that, but this fruit and its clever design has meant that it's segmented and it's organized just like our bodies. And then, it goes from having larger organization to much smaller organization. So just like our body, it has these smaller bundles of fruit that have been compartmentalized by its fascia. Now, how does this relate to how we move? Well, I have this beautiful model of the lumbar spine here, the lower spine, to give you a little bit more insight. So if you would imagine the blue is the fascia that we have in and around our own spine, and these wooden pieces are the bone, then we would have discs in between each of these. So a lot of us movers, when we're told to side bend one way without a lot of information, you may end up doing the body more harm than good by closing down one side of the vertebrae and opening the other. That might be fine once or twice, but over time, if you continue to move in that way, you may end up with a bulging disc, which I can tell you is not very much fun. So once you learn to move the body with more fascial awareness, you might be able to then think about extending both sides even while coming into a side bend. And that's the same for front extension, it's the same for back extension, where rather than closing the discs down, here you see it in the joints in the back, you can continue to imagine that you're lengthening and creating space. I hope that you can join me at one of my workshops soon to explore this fascinating world of fascia and fitness and how we can use our yoga practice to create a healthier organ of fascia, which is also known as the organ of proprioception. I'm in London on June 17th from 1:30 to 4 at Indaba, and I'm in Dublin on July 22nd. Please check out my website, www.freeliz.com, for more information. Hope to see you soon.